Hi folks, I've never been involved in any beauty parades in my life, but when it comes to beautiful knives, I do have some. So I am taking Paddy's, was it Paddy's or was it Slice? I can't remember whoever started it, but beauty parade, just good looking knives, nothing more, nothing less. So I've got quite a lot. So I'm not quite sure which ones to show you, but I just thought I'd start with some eye candy on the table, and then I'll just put these away, and I'll work through them in some sort of logical, semi-logical order, if I can think of a way to do it. Well, the first thing we'll look at. I've got quite a few knives from a small number of manufacturers. Like, I've got quite a lot of case knives. I like case knives because they're just smooth and comfortable and whatever in the hand. But I decided, rather than to put out a whole load of them, and I like them all for pretty much the same reason. They're just because they're all just really nice, tactile, lovely things to hold in the hand. This one I like though because it particularly fulfills that kind of brief, in that we have a really comfortable shape in the canoe. You've got no tags at the end of your blades to catch on anything when they're either in your hand or in your clothes, so they just make nice things to fondle. This one's quite pretty. It's got these threaded bolsters, the amber jig bone, and I don't know what you call that shield. I tried to look it up on Casey's site, but I couldn't find it. I've got two cases with that particular sort of shield. Maybe somebody will tell me. Now, if you like case knives though, you can either go up market or down market from there. Now, if you go down market, I've also got quite a few Rough Riders, of which I just pulled out this one just to be an example. And part of the reason I pulled it out as an example is it's a pretty good example. In terms of the jigging is nice, the bone is nice, the brass bolster, the brass powder horn cap. Now, this one happens to be a lock back, but that makes it relatively easy to open. You've got a nice, relatively stout for a toothpick design blade, but still nice and slender, long, clip back. So I kind of like that. I think that's a beautiful knife, but I wasn't going to show you 20 Rough Riders just to show you all the examples. But the other way you can go from case, you could go up market, you might go to GC. Now, I've only got one GC, but actually, although it's only a Tidiute, I think the number 85, is it? It's a bullet end jack anyway, with a spear spear point blade, which is nice and slippy and easy for me to drop if I'm not looking what I'm doing. That's a nice knife, nice blade, elegant, but not so fancy that you wouldn't want to use it, which I'm slightly concerned with sort of some of the Northfield ones. But anyway, just one example of each, because it could overdo that. What else have I got that goes in the pretty camp? Well, I've got quite a few Andre de Villiers knives. Again, I'll just pull out one just as an example, just to show you. This was the first one I ever got, actually. This is the Impy, which, just like the GEC, there's a spear point. Nice action, actually. Nice and easy to open. This is in a burl wood. I've got other ones in white bone and rosewood. I've always wanted one of his mother of pearl ones, but they're ferociously expensive, and I think for paying 400 quid for a 2-inch bladed knife, just not for me. Now, talking of nice burl wood though, I've got a couple of other knives in burl wood. This is a Puma IP, which is a nice bit of burl. It was very dry when I got it, and I've had to put quite a bit of oil on it, and it looks as though it could actually do with some more. These are Spanish made Puma. Most people will know Puma are a German maker from Solingen, but they also make knives well, they make knives in the Far East, but they also make these IP knives in Spain, and it's nice, a nice fancy pivot. But that's a beautiful knife. I have another one of those in maple, the curly maple burl, curly maple rather than burl, which is really nice. Now, my other one that I really have to pull out. Now this is a knife of extreme beauty. This is a Robert David L'Epicurion. Really beautiful looking knife. And this one is it's shaped to look like a pen. I mean, it's not disguising it or anything. It's not a disguised knife, but it obviously takes its design cues from a pen, particularly that clip. Very slim clip. Unfortunately, the opening of this knife is interesting to say the least. You have to push down here, and that brings the point out, and then you have to grab this very sharp point, which is an absolute fingerprint magnet because it's so highly polished, and then you open the knife. Now, this is a liner lock, and it's too long, so you can't carry it as a UK legal knife, but it is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, which I love very much. I've often thought it'd be quite nice to have more of these in different materials, but as I say, they're not UK legal. So, but that is one of my most beautiful knives, without a doubt. And to leave that one out. Also, in terms of actually most beautiful knives, that one still should stay out as well. I've got some modern knives which I am particularly enamoured of. So I've got the Enzo PK70. Again, I've 4 of these. These are in a sort of Finnish puukko design shape, but they're in different materials. This one is in titanium, polished crowned G10, and with an S30V blade. They do them in D2 as well, and they do Scandi grinds of full flat grains. Very, very fond of that. And I think that's a really beautiful but simple design. Other modern knives that are worth note, but may not stay out on the table here, are the Best Man from Lion Steel, which again is a nice knife, and it's done in titanium carbon fibre, but I prefer the look of the PK. So for the Beauty Parade, that one doesn't stay out. Another carbon fibre one that may stay out is this. This is the JE made Lanny's clip in titanium and carbon fibre. Which has a fairly stiff action, but it's not certainly not impossible to open. Lanny's clip design, really, really nice looking knife, really practical knife. S35 VN. It is Chinese, that puts people off, but this is top-end Chinese. This is top-end Chinese work. A really, really good quality of knife. That one can stay out like that. Now, we're getting to some of the real proper beauties in my collection. Just before I do, I've got 2 other modern ones I just wanted to quickly pull out. One is the Kaiser Zip Slip. This one in titanium Vagnino designed zip slip. Really good knife. UK legal to carry. I love that sculpted titanium. I mean, if you want something for a beauty parade, that's got to be in it. He can stay out. The other modern one I was going to show you is this, which is the Chilena, which is a Burnley design made by Makita, one of the Maniago knife makers. And really, really good, slim looking knife. Santos wood and titanium. An M390 blade, which is really, really, it's probably the best quality steel I've got. It's probably also one of the sharpest knives I own. I expect it is. Now, here's one that should be in. It can't stay in because it's an interloper. It's a cheat, but it's a lovely knife. This is a Chinese, should be £8, but they sent me 2 of them, so it cost me £4, but it's a copy of the Menandi, and the Menandi is a lovely, lovely knife. Only a real Chris Reeves one would have cost me 400 quid, and well, it's just not for me, I'm afraid. I don't have that sort of budget, but I do like it. It's a really good looking knife. It won't stay out on the table because, as I say, she's a fake fraud. What have I got left that I want to show you? We're on to my Sheffield knives, and I have so many of these. It's so hard to pick the one that the one knife to rule them all. I suppose in the end it probably has to be this one. Now, I've got several of these. Barlows. Several Barlows. Gentleman's clip, which it could have been that one. Could have been picked out as the best one. And I've also got other knives by the same Lee White at Taylor's Eyewitness, like this beautiful Boyner wood knife, sway back lamb's foot blade. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. In fact, actually that one's so beautiful it can stay out with the other wooden knives. In terms of these, I'm particularly taken with the mother of pearl. Mother of pearl is a beautiful, beautiful material, and for a beauty parade, well, you can't not have that in here. They both get to stay out. I've also, though, got some really, really, some of this ram's horn. It's a phenomenal material, very natural. The colours in it, the shapes in it, textures in it are just amazing. I have a couple of those. I can't put all of those out. Other ones that come in that I'm particularly fond of, another Sheffield maker, Michael May, who's out on his own. He used to be at Taylor's Eyewitness. Again, lovely piece of wood. 2 lovely pieces of wood. Another one by him. This one also wins on a design front because this is what he calls his ergonomic knife. It's shaped to fit your hand, and you might look at that and think, no way that fits your hand, but I have to say it does work in your hand. It's one of those knives that just fits in there and works. Good stout blade, traditional sheep's foot design. Really nice knife, really well made, beautiful. and not particularly expensive, which was quite nice. Another one I need to really just pull out before I finish is this. I got this one recently from Warthog in America. This is a Shat and Morgan. It's in horn with a mother of pearl keystone. I always think Heinz beans, but keystone shield toothpick. Not too easy to open, but it adds to the scales by having this lovely gold on the Shat and Morgan and their shield on the blade. That's a thoroughly beautiful knife. So if we're going to have finalists in this beauty pageant, they're certainly in there. That has to be in there. At least one of the MDVs. The Epicurion. I'm not sure that one gets to stay. I think the company's just too strong for her. But they do. That one certainly does. I won a little late runner that I hadn't thought of. Oops, throw it at you. Is the Boca Barlow in Desert Ironwood, which again, super beautiful knife. Super beautiful. So there we are. There's my beauty parade knives. I've probably got a few others that could have been in there. I've certainly got several more ADVs. We could have had more Taylor's Eyewitness. But there we are. That's my contribution. Thank you very much. Bye.